Since time immemorial, humanity has sought tools to protect itself from invisible forces, those energies that cannot be perceived with the senses but undoubtedly affect our reality. What if I told you that the most powerful weapon against negative influences is not a mystical object hidden in some remote esoteric library, nor a legendary amulet lost in time? Salt. Yes, that humble white crystal present in all cultures and civilizations has been used for millennia, not only to preserve food but also to safeguard souls, cleanse energies, and seal spaces against adverse forces. But why does salt possess this ability? What secrets does this common substance hold? And how can we use it consciously for our protection and spiritual development? Next, we will explore the history of salt as a sacred tool, its power in the esoteric traditions of various cultures, and how you can apply it in your daily life to protect yourself, purify yourself. Because sometimes the answers to the deepest mysteries are not hidden in an ancient grimoire or a forgotten temple, but in something so everyday that we've overlooked it. Throughout history, salt has been much more than just a simple seasoning. It has been a symbol of power, purity, and protection. In various cultures and spiritual traditions, its value was so great in ancient times that it was even used as currency in some empires. In fact, the word salary comes from the Latin salarium, which referred to the payment in salt that Roman soldiers received. But beyond its material value, salt has been present in rituals and mystical beliefs since time immemorial. To understand its spiritual power, we must delve back to the origins of humanity, when our ancestors began to observe the purifying and preserving effects of this mineral. In ancient Egypt, salt was used in embalming rituals. The priests regarded it as a sacred element, capable of preserving not only the body, but also the soul on its journey to the afterlife. It was believed to have the ability to prevent spiritual corruption and keep the essence of the individual intact. In the Hebrew tradition, salt was part of the sacrifices and offerings to God. In Leviticus, it is stated that every offering must include salt, symbolizing purity and incorruptibility. The covenant of salt mentioned in the Bible was an eternal alliance, as salt, which does not decompose easily, represented the unchangeable and sacred. The Romans also viewed salt as a protective element. Before entering a new house or starting a business, salt was sprinkled to ensure good fortune and ward off negative influence. This practice has survived to this day in various cultures, where throwing salt over the left shoulder is considered a method to get rid of bad luck. Esoteric traditions have maintained that salt is not just a physical substance, but contains a unique vibration capable of absorbing and transmuting energies. Being a crystal, salt has a geometric structure that allows it to interact with the energy field of living beings and spaces. Its power lies in its capacity to absorb dense and negative energies, thus purifying the environment and the aura of individuals. In Hermeticism and alchemy, salt is one of the three fundamental principles, along with sulfur and mercury. It represents the fixed and material substance, the body that must be purified to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Alchemists understood that salt not only cleansed physically, but also had an effect on the psyche and the soul, helping to transmute internal impurities into wisdom and clarity. Even in the shamanic traditions of various cultures, salt is used in cleansing rituals and protection. Shamans and healers use it to draw protective circles, to purify objects and individuals, and to seal energetic portals. Beyond its use in rituals, salt has been considered a barrier against unwanted entities and energies. In demonology, and in the legends of various cultures, it is said that evil spirits cannot cross a line of salt, which is why many people sprinkle salt at their doorsteps or place it in the corners of their homes to prevent disruptive influences from entering. But how is it possible that something so simple possesses such great power? There is an explanation behind this phenomenon. Why is salt so effective in spiritual protection and purification? To understand this, we first need to grasp the nature of energy and how it interacts with the physical and spiritual worlds. Salt is a crystal, and like all crystals, it has a geometrically ordered structure at the molecular level. This arrangement gives it unique properties in terms of energy absorption and transmission. In the esoteric world, crystals have been used for centuries to channel, store, and transmute energy, and salt is no exception. Unlike other crystals such as quartz, salt has a particular quality. It not only stores energy, but also absorbs and dissolves it. Its crystalline structure allows it to trap negative vibrations and neutralize them, dissipating in the process. By crystallizing in an irregular manner, it has absorbed a significant amount of dense energy. From a scientific standpoint, salt is an excellent electrical conductor when in solution. This means it can interact with the electromagnetic fields of the environment and living beings. Our body is an energy field, constantly interacting with its surroundings, and salt, when it comes into contact with us, can act as a natural balancer. Additionally, salt water has been used for centuries as a purifier, and today we know that saline solutions have the ability to absorb negatively charged ions, which are often associated with areas of high energetic density. This reinforces the idea that salt not only spiritually purifies, but also has a tangible effect on cleaning the energy of its environment. From a spiritual perspective, the human body is a microcosm within the macrocosm of the universe. Ancient Hermetic traditions said, "As above, so below," and in this case, the composition of our own body reflects this connection. We are about 70 water, and our fluids contain essential mineral salts for life. But beyond their biological function, salt in our body also plays an esoteric role. Ancient sages believed that salt connects us to the earth and helps us maintain a balance between the material and the spiritual. That's why practices like sea salt baths not only relax the body, but also restore our energy and help us release heavy emotional and spiritual burden. Low vibration entities and energies are drawn to dense environments loaded with negativity. However, salt acts as a shield that neutralizes these vibrations and creates a space where such influences cannot thrive. This is why, in many cultures, salt is sprinkled in the corners of rooms, on door thresholds, and even placed under the bed to prevent energetic attacks during sleep. Beyond superstition, this method is based on salt's ability to act as a vibrational barrier. If we think of energy as a frequency, salt raises the vibration of the environment, making it difficult for negative energies to remain in that space. How can we harness this power? So far, we've explored the nature of salt and its ability to absorb and neutralize dense energies. But how is it actually used in spiritual practice? Ancient traditions have developed various methods to tap into the power of salt. From cleansing rituals to protective barriers against negative influences, one of the most common uses is for aura cleansing. It is believed that our energy field can accumulate negative charges throughout the day due to dense emotions, interactions with others, or even exposure to certain environments. A bath with sea salt or Himalayan salt can help release these energies and restore balance. The key is to visualize how the salt extracts the energetic impurities as it dissolves in the water, taking away everything that does not belong to our being. Another common practice is space cleansing. Sprinkling salt in the corners of a room, especially in areas where dense energy is felt, helps absorb and neutralize any negative charge. After a few hours or days, it is recommended to sweep and dispose of the salt outside the house, ideally in running water, to completely release the trapped energies. Beyond cleansing, salt has been used since ancient times as a protective barrier against adverse influences. Different cultures have developed methods to block energetic attacks and keep unwanted entities at bay. One of the most well-known rituals is the salt circle, used in magical and esoteric practices to define a sacred space. It is believed that this circle creates an energy field that prevents the entry of any low-vibration entity. This method is common in shamanic rituals, deep meditation sessions, or even in spiritual communication practices where it's vital to establish a safe energetic boundary. Additionally, placing a small amount of salt in a cloth bag and carrying it with you is an ancient practice for personal protection. In some traditions, it is combined with herbs like rosemary or bay leaf to enhance its effect. Another form of protection is salt itself. Under the bed or at the entrance of the home, It is believed that this prevents spiritual attacks during sleep and stops disturbing energies from entering personal space. In some rituals, it is combined with a glass of water to capture and dispel negative vibration. Beyond protection and cleansing, salt also has the ability to transmute energies, transforming dense vibrations into more subtle and harmonious ones. This principle is used in spiritual alchemy, which seeks not just to eliminate the negative, but to convert it into something positive. A lesser-known method is the use of salt as a catalyst in manifestation rituals. Some traditions suggest writing wishes or intentions on paper and burying them in a container with salt for an entire lunar cycle. It is said that salt purifies any energetic blockage associated with the desire, facilitating its manifestation. Salt is an element of duality. It serves as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, between matter and energy. Its power is so strong that it is not only used by those seeking the light, but also feared by those who work with the shadows. Many legends speak of how certain entities avoid places where salt is present, as its vibration weakens them or makes it impossible for them to sustain themselves in that plane. In ancient cultures, salt was used in exorcisms and banishment rituals. Its ability to break energetic ties and dissipate astral influences has been documented in various mystical traditions. It's no coincidence that in many cultures, after a disagreement or negative event, it's recommended to spread salt in the home to eliminate any unwanted energetic residue. Now that we've explored the profound power of salt in protection and energetic transmutation, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. Next, I will share techniques and rituals that you can incorporate into your daily life to harness salt as a spiritual tool. This is one of the most effective methods for clearing negative energies accumulated in your body. You can do this after a tough day, a quarrel, or when you feel your energy is low. Fill a bathtub with warm water and add a cup of sea salt, Himalayan salt, or coarse salt. If you don't have a bathtub, you can dissolve the salt in a bucket of water and pour it over your body after showering. As you immerse yourself or pour the water, visualize how the salt extracts all the negative burdens from you. Stay in the water for at least 10 minutes in a relaxed state. When you finish, let the water drain completely before drying off with a clean towel. This ritual not only cleanses you energetically, but also leaves a feeling of renewal and freshness. Your home is your refuge, and it is essential to keep it free from dense energies. Salt can help you create a protective shield. Sprinkle a fine line of salt at the thresholds of doors and windows. This creates a barrier that prevents unwanted energies from entering. Place small containers of salt in the corners of rooms to absorb negative vibrations. Change it weekly and discard the used salt outside your home. For a deeper cleansing, mix salt with water and nightly spray the corners of your home while repeating a protection affirmation. This is a powerful ritual for cleansing your space of any heavy energy. It's particularly ideal after visits, arguments, or events that have created tension in the atmosphere. Fill a glass with water and add a tablespoon of coarse salt. Place the glass in a central location in the house or in the room where you feel strange energy. Leave it there for 24 hours. If the next day the salt has risen or bubbles have formed, it means it has absorbed negative energy. Discard the water in the toilet or down a drain, never on the ground. Thanking for the cleansing, you can carry a small pouch of salt with you to protect yourself from negative influences in your daily life. Get a small cloth bag, preferably made of cotton or linen. Fill it with sea salt, and if you wish, add herbs like rosemary or bay leaves to enhance its effect. Charge the amulet with your intention by holding it in your hands and visualizing a protective shield around you. Carry it in your handbag, pocket, or place it under your pillow for nighttime protection. If you're going to engage in an intense spiritual practice, such as deep meditation, tarot reading, or invocation, you can use the salt to protect your space. Trace a circle with salt around you before starting the ritual. As you do this, declare your intention for this circle to be a barrier of light and protection. Stay within the circle until you finish your practice. This method is used in various magical and shamanic traditions to ensure that only benevolent energies can access your space. Some additional tips to reinforce this spiritual tool include regularly renewing the salt. The salt you use for protection and cleansing should be changed often, as it absorbs energy. Do not reuse used salt. Avoid contact with other people. If you use a salt amulet, it's best that no one else touches it to avoid transferring energies. Trust your intuition. If you feel that a place or situation needs cleansing with salt, follow your instinct and act. Since ancient times, salt has been regarded as much more than a simple seasoning. It is a link between the earthly and the divine, a crystal with unique properties that allows us to cleanse, protect, and transform our energy. Its power has been recognized in ancient civilizations, in esoteric rituals, and in spiritual practices that have endured over the centuries. Throughout this video, we have explored its historical significance, its esoteric power, and its practical applications. We've seen how salt can absorb negative energies and serve as a protective shield, aiding us on our spiritual path, from cleansing baths to protection circles. Its use is as vast as it is profound. But beyond theory and rituals, the true key lies in the intention. Salt, like any spiritual tool, amplifies the energy we give it. It's not just about scattering it or carrying a talisman. It's about understanding its meaning and using it with awareness. When we use salt with purpose, we become alchemists of our own energy, capable of transforming darkness into light, fear into strength, and uncertainty into clarity. So I invite you to experiment with this knowledge. Observe how the energy in your environment shifts when you apply these methods. Do you feel more clarity, more lightness? Do you notice changes in the atmosphere of your home? Every little ritual is a reminder that we have the power to shape our reality. And now tell me, have you used salt in your spiritual practice? Do you know of other methods that we didn't mention in this video? Share your experiences in the comments, and let's continue exploring the mysteries of the universe together. If you enjoyed this content and want to keep learning about ancient esoteric tools, teachings, and spiritual techniques, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share this knowledge with those you feel need it. Remember, the power has always been within you. Salt is just the catalyst.